Today's show is brought to you by State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt. If you're a local small business owner, you know how important it is to be there for your customers. State Farm agent Ryan McDevitt runs a small business in Downers Grove, too, and he's here to help you protect your small business. Call Ryan today at 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Or visit his website, ryanismyagent.com. That's ryanismyagent.com. And make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I want to start today with this. Why is it that we never appreciate something until it's gone? Why do we take so many things for granted in our lives each and every day? Think about it. Life before COVID, ball games, concerts, the act of seeing people. We took that for granted. We do that with a lot of things in life today. And at the end of the day, you may love them or hate them in the moment, but when they're gone, there's always that feeling. I wish that was here. I wish that was back. See, for the Bears, as they enter the new season with no clue about quarterback, I have to wonder, are Bears fans feeling the same thing? Love him or hate him, everybody watched Mitch Trubisky. Everybody waited week in and week out. Would he throw a pick? Would he have a great game? He was a conversation starter. He still is a conversation starter here in Chicago. And as we look at the quarterback market in the NFL today, the question becomes, who's better? Who's better for the Bears in 2021? Who's acquirable? Who's realistic? See? The Bears are not getting Deshaun Watson. Sorry. Hate to burst your bubble, but that's not happening. Derek Carr now isn't available, according to a recent report. In fact, the Raiders want to extend him. Wentz has been traded. What else is there? Besides the draft, everyone who's available, realistically, isn't better. Is not an upgrade. It's about the same. I just find it funny. Everybody wanting to rush him out of town, Matt Nagy included. This isn't a fan thing. This is a team thing. The Bears wanted to rush him out of town. They thought, we'll be fine. This is a primo location. We'll command interest. Everyone's coming here. And what do you know? No one is. No one has interest to come to this dumpster fire of a team right now. With essentially a lame duck head coach, lame duck GM, no offensive weapons, defense regressing, no O-line. What quarterback would choose to come here? None. That's why I find it funny. That's why I say you always miss something once it's gone. Now reality is set in for Bears fans and the Bears. Who else is available? Who are they going to get? Who's going to be better than Mitch? The answer, no one. Really, no one. No cap room. No one who knows the system better. What are they supposed to do? I mean, you could go after Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tyrod Taylor. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but they don't know the system. That's essentially like a Nick Foles signing. You could catch lightning in a bottle. They could win games. We don't know. Besides them, though, there's no one I would want on this team. Marcus Mariota, are you kidding me? I've seen so much talk around him. That's a joke, right? Marcus Mariota, the guy who lost his job to Ryan Tannehill, the guy who backed up Derek Carr. You want a loser to come in and start for the Bears? That's not a personal attack. That's the truth. He's a loser. You lose your job to Ryan Tannehill. You become a backup for Derek Carr. The Bears were pursuing Derek Carr. Why would you settle for the consolation prize on his same team? That makes no sense. And then Sam Darnold. I'm convinced as long as his name isn't Mitch Trubisky, everyone's okay with it. I'm convinced. Because how in your right mind would you demand and beg for Sam Darnold, but then say, Mitch is trash, get him out? Now I'm asking. Sam Darnold's best year was an 84 passer rating. That's it. 84. One of the worst in the NFL. Hey, 20 years ago, an 84 was great. Today, that's last. Near last in the NFL, in 84. Hell, if everyone's saying Mitch is average for posting a 95 passer rating, where do you think an 84 stands? Right? That's what I thought. It's just funny. It's funny how so many people begged and pleaded, get him out. Horrible quarterback. We know he's a bust. But now you look around and you realize, well, wait a minute, what are we going to do? Who's next? Who's available? Who's left? The Bears have become the consolation prize for the NFL this year. No one wants to go there. So some poor sap at the end of the day will have to sign there. And that's it. Tell me I'm wrong. There's no chance they get Deshaun Watson. Carr isn't going anywhere. They didn't get Wentz, didn't get Stafford. So you're left with the trash heap. You're left with Marcus Mariota, Sam Darnold, Fitzpatrick, maybe Tyrod Taylor, or draft. Oh, right, and you already have Nick Foles. And we saw enough of that experiment this year. So I ask, what's the logical conclusion? Who are the Bears supposed to be targeting right now besides Mitch? I'm asking. Genuine question. I know everybody's up in arms. I know he's not the right guy. I get it. I know. But he's not a horrible option for next year. Someone commented, hey, bring him back. Then the Bears will go 4-12, then everyone's gone. Fine, if that's the way you're thinking, you're right. I'd rather do that and see a full rebuild than see the Bears give up legitimate draft capital and or salary constraints to bring in some veteran QB. I'd rather see Mitch return, keep Foles, sure, draft a rookie, have them all three compete for this year's job. The best gets it. No favoritism, no politics, no, well, we have to give it to Mitch. No, nothing is promised to anybody. Do a full-out competition for the job. Give up no money, no draft capital. See what happens. If it doesn't work, you're all fired. That's it. It's that simple. It's being overcomplicated. This position is being overcomplicated by everybody. We see rumors going back and forth, people pandering for likes and retweets. Stop it. Everyone knows deep down what the truth is. The truth is, the Bears are not a primo position. No one wants to come here. Mitch Trubisky wouldn't be the worst player to be at quarterback in 2021 compared to some of the other people that everyone's rumoring. Why not do it? Oh, that's right, because his name is Mitch Trubisky, and everyone's going to have a fit. So we have to make sure not to make that happen. Give me a break. We all know that everyone roots against Mitch. If you do, you would want him back. You'd root for him to go 4-12 and everybody to be fired. And then your dream of cleaning house would finally happen. There'd be nothing more to complain about. So, in both cases, you're getting what you want. For people like me, it gives Mitch one more chance. He deserves it. For those who don't believe in him and think he's a horrible quarterback, well, here you go. He could theoretically drive the franchise into the ground, and then there will be, finally, real change. So, there's an incentive on both sides, I think, to bring him back. They should do it. Who cares about fan reaction? Who cares about begging and crying and pleading for someone different? This is football. No emotions. It's a business. Make the best decision to help your team win. That's it. Or in this case, make the best decision to promote your future. I'm sorry, it's not worth the Bears giving up legitimate draft capital for a quarterback right now. They're tied up as it is when it comes to the draft. And what, they're going to pay somebody lots of money? They can't even afford it. We have to put the needs of the organization above the needs of recency bias, above the needs of just a brand new quarterback. What happens if you pay a quarterback? Well, you probably have to let Allen Robinson go. Can't afford him. No improvements for the O-line. No defensive help. Nothing. Anyone else see this? Is it only me? I know everybody just thinks quarterback, done. If they get a new quarterback, they're great. No. If they get a new quarterback, they'd actually be behind. If they paid somebody, they'd be set behind as a team. They'd be worse off. They'd lose pieces around the quarterback to make them great. If Deshaun Watson came here, goodbye Allen Robinson. And who the hell is Deshaun going to be throwing to then? Besides Darnell Mooney, some late round pick who had a good rookie year. You see what I mean? Believe me, I know emotions and passion get in the way sometimes of rational thinking. I do it all the time. You do too. I know. But when we think about this with a clear head, the choice is simple. Bring back Mitch on a team-friendly contract, maybe a $15 million, 1 year, $15 million. Foles is already on the books. Draft someone at 20 or move up a bit and get a quarterback. Have all three of them compete. May the best man win. That's it. If one goes down, if one can't perform in a game, you're done. New guy. Go. That's it. No excuses for anybody, including Mitch. No exceptions. If you screw up, you're done. Not a bad idea. Sports are a competition, right? Let's foster competition for the Bears. Let's get rid of politics and favoritism. And, oh, we owe Mitch this, we owe Nick this, we owe the rookie this. No. If you perform the best in camp, you start. And if you don't, you're out of luck. Sorry. That's how this whole thing should be handled. No, the Bears don't need some bust of a quarterback in Sam Darnold. Sorry, don't want him. Marcus Mariota? No, the Bears don't need a loser. They need a winner. They need a winning quarterback. Believe it or not, Foles and Mitch and possibly the rookie would all provide that. That's what they should be looking for here. I get it. People are infatuated with different names. Oh, I know that guy from this team. Let's bring him here. No. You're going to regret it. Remember what I said to open up this show. If you take things for granted eventually, when they're gone, you're going to miss them. If you compare Mitch Trubisky to Sam Darnold, your head is going to spin next year. If you want Darnold with the Bears, and you see what he does in 2021, you're going to be begging for Mitch to come back, and it's going to be too late. Same with Mariota. Possibly the same with Fitzpatrick or Taylor. Make the right choice. Make the choice that helps out in the future, but make the choice today that satisfies the needs of the organization. If the Bears go 4-12, that's not a bad thing. Now, statistically it is, but it isn't, because then changes will be made. And everyone who's been clamoring for a rebuild, for everybody to be fired, they'll get their wish. On the contrary, if there's a competition and it turns out the best in each and every player, the Bears could win. And the model will work. There's no downside to bringing back Mitch, drafting a rookie, keeping Foles, and having all three compete. Now throw Tyler Brand in the mix too. Why not? The more competition, the better. That's how this should be handled. I'm sick of seeing rumors and support for quarterbacks that don't belong here. Sam Darnold does not belong in a Bears uniform. Ask a Jets fan. If you don't believe me, ask a Jets fan. He is a sorry excuse for a quarterback. Marcus Mariota, go talk to the Titans. There's a reason why they moved on from him. They didn't just cut him loose for no reason. No. The guy's throwing 13 touchdowns, 15 picks in a season. Say what you want about Mitch. He doesn't do that. He's relatively careful when it comes to picks. Relatively. That's my point. I know you want the next best thing, but believe it or not, the next best thing is right in front of you. It's been there the whole time. You have just refused to acknowledge it. The Bears and Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are in a very tough position. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I feel bad for them. At the same time, though, we know they dug their own grave, and they have to do whatever they can to salvage next year. What does that look like? Well, to me, it's a competition, and to me, it's bringing back Mitch Trubisky. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Dan Wiederer comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash, sportstalkchicago.com/cash. You must be 21 plus. You must be an Illinois resident. You could bet $250 free on any game you want for this upcoming weekend. NHL, college basketball, the NBA is back too. This is, without question, the best time to put down some money and win a whole lot more back. That's sportstalkchicago.com/cash, sportstalkchicago.com If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.